Hey, Tyson's Honor here again today. Would you like to know how to get cheap website traffic from social media? And not just any old traffic, we're talking about red hot, laser targeted traffic, people who are going to be the most likely to opt in for your product or service and become leads and buy what it is that you sell. So yesterday I shot a video, put it on my YouTube channel called Social Media Marketing Strategy for Lead Generation. It was only about 6 minutes long. If you haven't watched that, you may want to go back and watch that. I give you 3 tips for how to develop a really solid social media marketing strategy. But people freaked out over that video because in the second tip, I basically told you how I would spend a small advertising budget. If somebody said, hey, I'm going to give you $10 a day to spend on traffic for your business, how would you spend it? And I walked you through how I would spend that money to build out a campaign, and people were like, oh my God, like I'd never thought about doing that before. I got so much positive feedback from people, but I also got emails from people asking questions like, all right, where would you send people when you retarget them and how do you do that? So I just thought today I'm sitting in front of my computer. I'll just pull up my screen here in a moment and I'll share my screen and I'm just going to walk you through how to build out this campaign, how to build the pages and so forth. Cool? So this video might be a little bit longer than a few of my other videos, but I think you're really going to get a ton of value out of it. So stay tuned while I pull up my computer screen. All right, so I'm sitting in front of my computer right now. What I want to do is show you a quick visual representation of what this strategy would look like to help you kind of internalize it, and then we'll go in and we'll start building out some parts of this campaign, and I'll show you kind of step by step how to do that. So if we're going to be putting our advertisement on Facebook, which that's what we'll use for this example because their advertising platform is really easy to use and everybody's on Facebook and they've got really good targeting availability. Out of my $10 per day budget, I would use 7 of it a day to put my advertising in front of cold traffic. These are people who have no idea who we are. They don't know anything about our company, our brand, our products. So they have absolutely no reason at all to listen to us. So we want to warm them up. So where do we send them? We send them to content. This is what we call ungated content. Ungated meaning they do not have to put in their name and email address to access this content. It is totally free. They would go to a free video or a blog post, an article that you've written with something that's going to provide value and teach them something, and there will be a call to action at the end of this content where you'd say, hey, if you got value and you'd like to learn more, go get my free whatever, and then you offer to give them your lead magnet. So at this point, these people are now warm. They have been warmed up, and that's when you send them over to your capture page. Hey, put in your name and email address, and I will send you your free whatever that thing is. Some people will take you up on this right away. Other people will not. But for the people that do not, this is where your other $3 a day comes in. So here's what the first $7 looks like. The remaining $3 is going to look like this. You're going to make a different ad to put in front of these people. Exact same people who saw our content, but they did not opt in for some reason. They did not put in their name and email address into this box and get our free thing. We are going to retarget them. The fortune's in the follow-up, and we'll say, hey, did life get in the way? Did you get busy? You forgot to grab my free gift. Go take advantage of it. And you can target these people really easily because, number one, they've already shown that they are highly targeted, right? Because they clicked and consumed your content. Only the people who've consumed this content are going to see this. None of this cold traffic people who didn't click here would see this ad. Only the people who saw the content here that are warmed up are going to see this ad, okay? So now let's go into kind of some examples of how you would build this strategy out. Okay, so for this example, I will use my YouTube video from yesterday as my piece of content. That's really the first place you want to start, is you want to make sure that you've got a good, compelling piece of content. This was a piece of content that people really liked. It got a lot of great feedback. I think it's going to provide a lot of good value. It's got a good congruent call to action at the end. Remember, you want to be using content that has a call to action at the end, typically for them to become a lead. So in this video, I said, hey, if you got value and you'd like to get my free 10 headline templates to help you generate more leads off of Facebook to write compelling, ad copy, go grab my free 10 headlines at successwithtyson.com/10 headlines. That generated several leads, several people who opted in for that free thing. And it's going to be a great way for me to funnel people off of Facebook and into my list so that once they're on my list, now I can market to them without having to keep paying Facebook to get in front of them, right? I want to get them on my list as soon as possible. So you want to make sure, by the way, if you haven't grabbed that free headline template, you can grab that at successwithtyson.com/10 headlines. So I would use this particular video as my piece of content. Now, personally, I would put it on a blog. And the reason why is because a blog, when people think about a blog, they don't think I'm getting ready to be sold something, right? So what I would do is I would create a blog post, a new blog post on my website. Here's one called How to Succeed in Network Marketing Fast. When you go to this page, you don't look at this and think, oh, he's about to sell me something, right? Instead, you go, oh, well, I'm about to learn something. And this is really where you want your cold traffic to go in their mind. Like, he's not trying to sell me something. All he wants to do is just give me some value on a blog post. So I would probably put it on a blog. But for those of you who do not have a blog, I will show you an alternative. You could use Clickfunnels, which is what I would recommend. It's a really easy way to build out pages, and I would just try to not make the page look overly salesy, but for the purpose of this video, I'll just make it super simple to build out the page. So the main thing here is that you send them to a page that you own and control. In other words, I don't own YouTube, so I wouldn't send them to my YouTube page on youtube.com. Instead, I would put this video on a page that I do own, like my blog, my own website, or a page that I create inside of ClickFunnels. And the reason I want to do that is so that I can put my tracking pixels, which I'm going to show you how to do a little bit later in this video, onto that page. I can't put a tracking pixel on YouTube because I don't own and control YouTube. All right. And by the way, for those of you who are unfamiliar with ClickFunnels, it is a tool that you can use to build pages really, really easily. You don't have to have your own domain. You don't have to have your own hosting, your own hosting service, and it's really, really affordable. If you want to check it out, you can actually take a 14-day trial. If you want to use my affiliate link, it is successwithtyson.com/ClickFunnels. And anyway, when you get in here, you can create opt-in pages, which I'll show you how to do in a moment. But let's go ahead and add a new page to this funnel. Right down here where it says Add New Page, I'm going to add a new page, and I'm going to call this Content Page with whatever, YouTube video, right? And I'll create this funnel step. Now I can choose what type of template I want to use. They've got all these templates already made. So I'll go ahead and choose a sales page template. And I'm going to try and pick something here that doesn't look too much like a sales page. If they get on the page and they think, man, this looks a whole lot like a sales page, they may end up clicking off. So I'm going to go ahead and click here where it says use this template. It looks like it's got some navigation at the top, which is one thing that can make a page not look like a sales page. And I'll say use this template. And then over here I can say open in editor, and I can change up these things up here. So I would go ahead and put in my own headline right up here at the top. And why don't we say how to get red hot targeted leads from social media without breaking the bank. And by the way, this follows the very first headline formula that I give you. If you downloaded those 10 headline templates at the link that I gave you earlier, this follows the very first one, yay without boo. How to get an awesome result, how to get red hot targeted leads from social media without the bad stuff, without spending a lot of money, without breaking the bank. So there's a headline template in action right here. And then I'm going to take this button off because I don't want it to look, like I said, like a sales page right now. I can get rid of this. And I would, if you got a logo, you can put in your logo up here really easily by uploading it into ClickFunnels. And you might even want to change this navigation bar up. I would recommend keeping the navigation bar to make the page look like a web page and not like a sales page. And you could put something like about me or about the 10 headline templates or whatever. That way you could put some extra information in here. But let's go ahead and just show you the simple part of how to do this. This doesn't have to be here. If you did want a picture of you on here, I would move this further down. I want them to see the content right away. So I can take sections here, and I can take this section for the testimonial and move it down further on the page, let's say below the order section. And now I've got this part here, and I could put, another headline. Watch this free video watch this free video to get 3 tips to help you develop a killer social marketing strategy, right? And then I can put a little bit more information about the video here if I want, or if I don't want this, I can hover over it and I just click the little delete button, which would delete that. Or if you think you want to use it later in ClickFunnels, I can actually go over here to where it says elements, and I can hover over that and I can click the eyeball and it just goes away temporarily, which is kind of cool as well. So this is really simple to use. And right here, I would put my video. All right. So I'm going to put, all I got to do to put my video in is just highlight my YouTube address. You don't even have to grab embed code. And I would click on this little box right here. And where it says custom embed, I would click YouTube and it says YouTube URL. I'll put this in here, and I actually do want it to autoplay. So I'm going to go ahead and say autoplay on. I do not want the controls on. Modest branding. I'm not sure what that means, so we can leave it. We'll turn it off for now, and then we'll say save. All right, now, so I do have my call to action in my video. If I wanted to put a button down here, I could do that as well by just putting, let's say, for example, I can put a little plus sign right here, and I can say, I can search for button, click on buttons, say add to page, and I can say, get your 10 free headline templates now. And I can change the size of the thing. I can make it go, you know, extra large if I want, or I can make it more subtle. I can make the width go all the way across the same size as the video and so forth. I can even set a delay to say, you know what, I don't want them to know there's a button there right away. So let's do that. Let's say timed delay, have it fade in, and let's have it fade in at like 5 minutes. And 0 seconds. That way they watch the video before they see it. That way they don't go, oh, he wants me to do something. They can consume our content first, right? And so I can even change the color of the button if I want. I mean, there's all kinds of things you could do here. Okay, we'll do that. That kind of matches the rest of the page. And I could write more text here. I could write out a summary of my video so it looks more like an article. And we save. Now, here's where our little strategy, how do we know that somebody came to this page? So inside of Facebook, we are going to create what are called custom audiences. So if you go to facebook.com/ads/manage, that should take you to your ad manager, and we're going to go over here to where it says audiences, and we're going to create a new audience in a minute, and what we're going to get is a special little code. It's called a pixel. And it sounds very technical, but it's so super simple. All you're going to do here in a little bit is we're going to come back over to our page in ClickFunnels, and we're going to go to Settings, right up here at the top, and Tracking Codes. And where it says Header, you're just going to copy and paste it right here. Now, I don't have that code yet because I haven't created that audience. We're going to do that in a moment, but we need to create 2 more pages first. So this is going to be our page for the video. We can preview it very quickly to make sure that it works. There we go. My video starts playing automatically. It's got my text. My button should show up after 5 minutes. And by the way, I'd get rid of some of the rest of this stuff down here. I just kept it because I was showing you an example of how to build out the page. We'd obviously tweak it when we're ready to drive traffic to it. But let's go ahead and exit out of this page right now, and we should be back inside of our funnel with our other pages. So that's the content page. Now we also want to create our opt-in page. This is going to be the page that they put in their name and email address, so they go from the content and I say, hey, get your free headline templates. Well, I want that button to point them over to this page right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to call this, let's give it a special name. We will call it 10 headlines opt-in page. All right, and we'll update the name of this page right here, and you can notice you don't even have to have your own domain inside of ClickFunnels, and then you're going to have a thank you page that they'll go to automatically. So let's go ahead and do this page really quickly. I'll say open an editor, and this is really a tried and true lead capture page design. It doesn't have to be difficult, really just a good headline, a picture of the thing you're going to give away, and then a spot for them to put in their name and email address over here. So we want to make sure we put in a good headline up here. So let's go ahead and say 10 free headline templates proven to generate more traffic and leads. And then even if I wanted to add a little extra text right in this section here, I can just hover over and click the plus button and add a new text box. So let's say headline text, and let's put that here. And I can change the size so it's not so big. Make it a little bit bigger. There we go. And then we can simply drag this up here. And let's also, if I don't like the spacing here between these two, I can click on this and I can say the margin. All I got to do is drag it, and these little sliders will make the page look exactly like I want. And I even got a little picture of my headline templates thing. So I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to upload an image. So image URL, if I knew where that image was, I could go put in the URL right here if I hosted it somewhere else, or Clickfunnels will host it for me. So all I got to do is go in right here and say upload image, and go out to my desktop and say 10 proven headline formulas, book cover JPEG, and I'll upload this little image that I had created. And by the way, if you want, you can get little images like this created for like $5 out on Fiverr. Fiverr is a website, Fiverr with 2 R's at the end, Fiverr.com, right here, Fiverr.com. And you can hire people to do the little things like this for $5. This is a pretty simple job. So if you wanted somebody to create a book cover like this for you, or an image for you for your lead capture page, you can get that done really, really cheap, okay? And then if you're thinking, well, that's great, but how do these people actually get onto my email list? Is that technical? Nope. All you got to do is click up here where it says email, choose your autoresponder. I would recommend Aweber, especially if you're just starting out. Now, I've moved on to using Infusionsoft, but honestly, I do not recommend Infusionsoft to you if you're getting started. It's really expensive, and it can be very complicated and overwhelming. Aweber is a super simple solution, and it is really, really good, really powerful, great deliverability, good autoresponder. All you got to do is say, Aweber is my autoresponder. Choose existing form. It'll log right into your Aweber account. You'll connect it, and then you'll just say, so I don't know, let's say I was putting them on the MLM secrets list, and then all I got to do is save it. And now when they put in their name and email address to download this, and then I can change the button text here, right? Get instant access now, right? So I can say whatever I want there, and the URL action, all I got to do is put in a hashtag, and I get all these options. I'm going to choose submit form. When they click the button, I want it to submit the form, and now we say save, right? And now when they put in their name and email address on this really good looking page here, they're going to go on my list. They're now a lead, and what'll happen next is they're going to go over to the thank you page. So let's go ahead and click on the thank you page here, and I can select any one of these options. I'll just click this one right here that says thanks, here's your free report, and I'll say use this template. So it's got templates already done for me. We'll say open in editor. Now, here's where we're going to want to put some code on this page and on our content page, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. So I can change my stuff here. I can upload my report right into ClickFunnels. So if you don't know if you've got a PDF you want them to download, I can actually upload that into ClickFunnels and make a link right here. This button can then download it. So I would then change and say, all right, when they click on this, I want it to go to http://www.myawesomepdfdownload.com, right? Or whatever. And then you could put a video on this page if you wanted to sell something. You could have them share this page, which will actually, what's really cool is you can make it share the lead capture page. So if they got a bunch of value, when they click share, it doesn't send them to the report. It'll send people over to your lead capture page and help you to get more leads. That's a feature built right into ClickFunnels, which is pretty cool. So if once again, if you want to check out ClickFunnels from my link and take a 14-day free trial, you can do that at successwithtyson.com/ClickFunnels. Now, here's where we want to put in our code. So let's go into Facebook real quick and let's do a couple of things here. We're going to create a new custom audience. So remember, you go to facebook.com/ads/manage, and that will take you over to the main page. And when you get there, you're going to click on audiences on the far left-hand side as soon as Facebook responds here. There we go. So right over here where it says audiences, you're going to click here, and this is where you can create as many audiences as you want. This is so incredibly powerful. And so for this example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say create an audience with this green button up here, and I'm going to say create a custom audience. Now I say I can either upload a customer list. So if you've already got people who've opted in and you just want to target them on Facebook for a new offer, you could do that from your your list of emails of leads. But in this case, we're going to do website traffic, people who come to my website. Here we go. I'm going to choose for my options, instead of anyone who visits my website, I'm going to say people visit, I could either choose a specific web page or people who visit some pages but not others. This is the option I'm going to choose here because, well, you'll see in a moment. So include people who visit any web page that meets the following rules. So what is my URL? Let's do the content page first. That was this one right here. Let's double check it. Here it is. All right, so this was my content page with my YouTube video. Let's do this. Let's call this, let's make it a little bit more specific. And I'm going to make the path say social-media-marketing-content page with YouTube video, right? And now what's really cool is I could say, okay, I'm going to copy and paste this, and I'm going to say update page. Now, I could either take this entire URL right here, I could copy it, and I could go over into Facebook, and I could say, include people into this audience who visited this page, right? Who visited this big, long URL, tz.clickfunnels.com/social media marketing content page with YouTube video. Let's do that for now to keep it simple, and then I'll show you why I called it social media marketing in a moment. It doesn't have to always be the whole URL, which is kind of cool. But let's go over and let's now choose the thank you page. So what we want to know is we want to exclude people from this audience who've already opted in. If they're already a lead, we don't want to spend our money retargeting those people on Facebook. So how do we know if they've been a lead? Is it because they've seen this page here with our lead capture page, right? Just because they've seen this page doesn't mean they're a lead. They could have come to this page and not put in their name and email address. So the only way we know if they're a lead is if they've gotten to the thank you page. So let's take this page here, and I'm going to call this thank you. You are now a lead, okay? Or let's say, so it doesn't say a lead. You are now opted in. Right? And I could use this little code on any one of my pages later on, which is kind of cool, but let's say update page. Now, this is my custom URL for this page. If I punch that in, here's what that page is going to look like. All right, so when they get to this page, we know they've opted in. So I'm going to say to Facebook, if the URL has this, thank you, you are now opted in, that URL, we are going to make sure that they are excluded from this audience. And I can call this, I can make this audience last as long as I want, as long as 180 days. Let's just do the maximum for now. I'll keep include past traffic here checked, and then we give this audience a name. So I will call this audience social media marketing content consumers, but not yet leads. That's just for me to know who they are. In a minute, I'm going to create that audience, but before I do, I'm going to click this little gear right here in the bottom left, and I'm going to get my code. You see where it says View Pixel Code? All I got to do is highlight all this gobbledygook, right-click it, and say Copy. Now, it looks really technical, but it's so stupid simple. Okay, and by the way, it looks like when I clicked out of that pixel code that I canceled out for some reason my work that I had already done, and it did not create my audience that I wanted to create. So I'll need to go back in and redo that. I'm not going to do that in front of you because I just showed you how to do it. But just a heads up, before you grab this pixel code, what I would do first is create your audience, do all the stuff we just did, put in your URLs, call it a name, and then click Create Audience. Get it created first, and then click on that audience to go grab your pixel code. You can simply click on the audience after it's created. That way you don't lose all of your work like I just did. And then you just click here where it says Edit, and then you click this and it'll give you your view pixel code, and then you can copy and paste that code. So where are we going to put that code? We're going to put it on every page that is in our funnel, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on, mainly we need to make sure it's on our content page. So I'm going to open that in the editor in Clickfunnels. I go over here to settings and I go to tracking codes, and now I just put in paste in the, I want that in the header. Now I click save. All right. And then we're going to go over here to the thank you page. We want to make sure that I mean, you could put it on the opt-in page. It doesn't really matter, but we're going to go and put it on the thank you page for sure, because when they get here to this page, we want Facebook to remove them from our list so we don't keep spending money targeting those people after they've become a lead. Now we say save. Okay. Now, Really the next step for you to do in this whole process is for you to start driving traffic from Facebook over to this page here, to the one that's called How to Get Red Hot Targeted Leads from Social Media Without Breaking the Bank. Give them some value, right? Teach them something, and then some of them will opt in right away and become a lead from this page. The people, and they will be removed from your audience. If they do not, they have now shown interest, and you can now retarget them with a new ad. Probably what I would do is I would put an ad that had something either similar to my first ad, or I would put maybe my face or a screenshot of something from the video that said, did you enjoy the video? You forgot to grab my 10 free headline templates. And then I would send them straight over to the lead capture page. I would bypass the content because they've already been warmed up. And that second retargeting ad that I'm spending $3 a day on would then send them over to this page right here, which I just created for you. Okay. So that was a quick and dirty version of how to do this. Once again, if you guys want to grab the 10 headline formulas, it's really, really a valuable resource for you as you're creating ads and YouTube like video titles or blog post titles or email subject lines. Make sure you get it. It's really going to be a great resource for you. You can get that at successwithtyson.com/10 headlines. Hopefully you guys found this video to be useful and helpful. Oh, and by the way, I told you I was going to tell you why I recommended that you put like social-media-marketing in the URL and opted in. Let me show you real quickly why I did that. So the reason why is because when I'm here in Facebook and I'm creating my audience, I do not have to have the entire URL. I don't have to have www. The whole thing. In fact, all I really have to have is a keyword that's in that URL. So if I wanted to build a whole audience of people who were interested in social media marketing, I would just make sure that every page I created that had content on it that had something to do with social media marketing had the word social-media-marketing in it, right? And then down here where it says exclude these people, if every time they opted in on a thank you page, I knew that that page was going to have the word opted-in or thank you or whatever keyword you want to put on your opt-in page or on your thank you page, then you can actually build as many lead magnets as you want with as many thank you pages as you want. And as long as every thank you page you create has the word opted in the name of the, the address for that page, and as long as your content has the word social media marketing with these dashes in it, then Facebook will automatically create your audience like that. And in my opinion, this is one of the best ways for you to get cheap traffic. Why? Because retargeting people who've already been indoctrinated to you is some of the cheapest traffic you can ever get. And it's usually because Facebook in particular will reward you for how relevant your ads are. If you're putting out a bunch of ads in front of people and Facebook feels that they're not relevant, Facebook will they will punish you with higher advertising costs because you are decreasing their user's experience, and they don't want that, right? They want their user experience to be good. They want people to be on Facebook and go, hey, I'm seeing posts that are relevant to what I'm looking for, and this is the way you can get really targeted leads and make Facebook happy and get cheap traffic from Facebook. So I hope you guys found this to be really helpful and valuable. If so, feel free to comment. Let me know what you thought, and make sure you get the 10 free headline templates at the link on the screen if you haven't already grabbed them. I think they're really going to help you. We'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great day. Bye.